Hey guys, Dave with Dave Land here, and we are 72 boxing EverQuest EQ Emulator, local install on my computer. If you've been liking the type of stuff on my channel, please like, share, comment, and subscribe, and we will have more of this. I will have more of this. And we are doing Aaryonar today. So Aaryonar is probably the first proper loss of North Temple of Veeshan. I mean, you did fight Ishan in the sky, and ITV, Ikatia, the Venom, but Aaryonar is kind of like the gatekeeper of all the other dragons in North Temple of Veeshan, and I don't know if Aary is a guy or a girl. I call Aaryonar a she, because Aary reminds me of Ariana, which is somebody I went to college with, so I just call Aary a female because of that. And kind of the trick with Aaryonar is she has a mana drain and attack debuff, and the mana drain is a dot, so it will get you down to 0 and it will keep you at 0 if you don't avoid it. And the attack debuff simply lowers your attack power on all of your melee on everyone. And the best way to counter this AOE is to not get hit by it. So you would run in and out kind of like this, timing it. But as a boxer, I have a hard time timing running back and forth. You know, you generally want to use a tool like Gina, and you'd want some kind of move utils script to like kind of maybe follow the cleric over here and then follow another character standing over here and kind of going back and forth on your casters. It's a lot of work. I've tried doing it. I'm just not good at it. So I'm going to brute force Aaryonar. I'm just going to debuff as fast as possible and nuke as fast as possible. And then when everyone's runs out of mana, I'm going to melee on everyone, you know, all my casters. I will hide my clerics right here, so they can keep healing, but otherwise, this is going to be a longer fight. Also, with the attack debuff, it'll make it longer. The good way to counter the attack debuff is to have Avatar cast on your melee, or have Avatar weapons from Sleeper's Tomb, because that will give you back 100 attack power of the 300 you lose from Aaryonar's debuff. So Aaryonar has, on live, no guards here, but on the emulator, there's a guard on the left and a guard on the right. I GM killed them because I wanted to do it more like the fight on live, and I don't know if on the TLP if she has those guards or not. I just don't remember seeing them. So there's also some other add tool wonder by flurry drakes and whatnot. I GM killed a couple of them just, you know, for the video, because you know, you do want to pull her back there, and she's actually out of range from where I'm standing from bows. I'm pretty sure you might be able to get her with a bow, but I have a technique sacrificing a character to pull her very easily. I'll show you how I do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just bring everyone but the clerics up. So what I do is I use the complete heal. I turn the complete heal chain on, and that's going to make the 6 clerics in the chain not move. And we're just going to have everyone else come up here. And it looks like some of my other clerics are going to come up too, which is a problem. So I'm going to what I'll do is I'm going to type / follow me only clerics, and I'm just going to have them kind of come back over here. And then I'm going to just put them over here. I'll stop them so they can stay right there. And everyone else should be in position. Let's review Aaryonar's stats super quick. So Aaryonar right here, to 390,000 health, so a lot of hit points. She hits for up to 900. That's pretty hard hitting every second. And twice per round, so she can hit pretty freaking hard. For, you know, a dragon that also has an AOE and a, you know, longer fight. But slowable, if you can get the slow off before you run out of mana, and then once that does happen, she's actually fairly easy. Just again a long fight. No other special moves over here on the right. As far as like flurrying, rampaging, it doesn't do anything like that. Resists are kind of middle ground, so I'm going to use lures just to be safe. My wizard's not going to have mana most of the fight, but in the beginning, I do want to gun down as much DPS as possible. Let's see. Spells cast would be the Cloud of Disempowerment. Here, yeah, see 500 per. Oh, it's a type one is 200, so Avatar gets you back half of the debuff. The hit points are not really a big deal. The Bard regen songs are going to out heal the hit point dot, but the mana dot, my guys will be out of mana in like a minute tops. And then Call to Zero is an ability that I think every dragon in North Temple of Veeshan has. It summons the tank under the dragon every 6 seconds or so, 5 seconds according to this. And then yeah, I think we can kind of just go into this. So I did memorize Harm Shield on my Shadow Knights and Divine Aura on my Paladins, and it looks like I still have another 2 minutes on that. So I think what I'll do is I'll just pause my recording while that happens. But I will talk about this real quick. So what I'm going to do, and I should not use this on Dave. Let me just back Dave up. I'm gonna take Arthur and Norm, and usually I do a Shadow Knight, but I think Paladin might actually work out better since they're probably less useful in the fight than the Shadow Knights. But we're gonna put Arthur here, and we're gonna put Norm up here as well. And I'm just gonna turn off their macros and unsummon their pets. And what we're gonna do is Norm is going to jump off with Harm Shield cast on him. And what that will do is it will make him immune to the to the Call to Zero and damage. So Aaryonar will aggro Norm, and Norm will back up to where the bottom of this pit is, like right here. And Aaryonar will follow him and attack him. When Harm Shield wears off, Norm will die, and Arthur will cast Harm Shield. Aaryonar will aggro Arthur, and Arthur will run down to the raid to Dave, and then Dave will take aggro from Arthur. So I'm sure there's a much easier way to do this. I just don't want to fight him down in the pit. You could put the clerics right here on the steps where I am, but as you can see, that Flurry Drake is kind of wandering by, which I'm going to GM kill. If that happens during the fight, you could be seriously screwed. The Flurry Drakes are actually harder than the dragons. They have less health, but they hit harder and they hit faster. So you get one of them into your... I've had like 3 or 4 guys get killed before I realized that there's a Drake attacking me. That's how fast they are. Their attack speed is out of this world, and their attack power is out of this world. So it looks like Norm's Harm Shield is up. So I actually might not need to pause. It looks like Arthur... Wait. Oh no, Arthur cast a buff. Oh, okay. That's I have someone else who can cast. Hold on. Let's just run Arthur back real quick. Silly Arthur. Let's grab, let's see how, other Jackie can do this. So, we're going to run up here. And we're just going to kind of, I haven't done Aaryonar in a while, so hopefully I don't wipe. I'm telling you the strategy, and it may not work. So, again, we turn the complete heal rotation on, set the timing to 3 seconds, which I believe is the default. Furious can be used, defensive can be used. We're in range of the heals. You do have to make sure not to get out of range of the healers, because Aaryonar is going to summon us every few seconds. So I like to put the map on, and it's complete heal rotate. Complete heal is about 100 range, I believe. So you want to make sure that they're not like, you don't want to be like up here. You'll be out of range. We're gonna have to pull it up. Pull me back here. Okay, so let's get Jackie's window and Norm's window, and just all tabbing back and forth just to make sure this is gonna work. And I think we're good to go. So here we go. All right, Harm Shield's up, and Aaryonar is gonna aggro. Yeah, we're going to just pull Aaryonar back. I didn't unsummon that. Okay. And we're just going to sit here for a second, and I'm just going to wait for Aaryonar to basically kill Jack, or start to hit Jackie. Because what I don't want is, I got hit by the Williams. Would have not been able to cast Harm Shield, so now I'm okay. So, okay. Jackie should be dying soon. Oh, okay, here we go. Wasn't paying attention. We're gonna run her back to the raid, and that's okay. That's just Jackie resetting from death, and I'm just gonna really just go for broke. I'm turn on the complete heal rotation. I put on dodge, put on debuffs, and every time I get summoned, it's important that I back up a few steps, because otherwise you run the chance of having your back to Aaryonar. And it's not like she backstabs or anything, but obviously you just can't defend yourself if you can't parry and dodge and riposte. So I always take a step back or two, and it looks like we're good to go. Got a lot of dots on her, which is good. It's gonna get the first half of the fight really, a lot easier. You can see she's going down pretty fast, but when the dots start to wear off and everyone runs out of mana, it's gonna be a totally different story. I think I fixed occlusion of sound on my bard on Allison. It was spelled wrong, so I spelled occlusion of sound wrong. So actually, let me, this is a little dangerous to switch characters on Aaryonar, but, oh, she's not even singing any songs. That doesn't make any sense. Let's see what's going on here. Good. I'm gonna have to debug that later on. All right, slow landed. So what I'm gonna do is to save some mana. I'll set the complete heal timing to 5 seconds because this fight can be really long and the clerics can have their mana tested. One thing you could do is use Ancient Lucia's Lament, the Bard, raid-wide AOE hit point mana song. You just have a Bard sit by the clerics, and they probably won't run out of mana if you have 6 clerics at about 4 seconds, 5 seconds. Especially if they're using all their mana regen buffs. If they have like KEI and the Beast Lord Clarity, and then their personal buff, and then maybe some mana regen from items. Your mana regen will be so high that running out of mana will take a long time. It looks like my clerics have spent some of their mana already, but I think they're okay. You see, now you can see the fight slowing down because all the casters ran out of mana. We're gonna do quick burn and get some melee on them. We're gonna do /BC combat mode space melee, and that's gonna tell all the casters. It's gonna tell everyone just melee. They'll keep casting spells if they have mana, but they're gonna focus on the melee now. So it looks like Occlusion Sound did finally land. It doesn't matter anymore because I'm not casting spells on her, but it's good that it did land, just because if we hadn't gotten slowed out on her yet and people did have mana, we would have wanted slow. So I might lose a tank or two because it looks like Dave had lost aggro. Now Aary has aggro. I'm gonna BCAA/Project Disc defensive, and that's gonna make out all my warriors use defensive discipline, including so Aary can try to defend herself from while other clerics heal her. Just to be safe. It doesn't really matter if she dies. Just because Dave probably won't die in this fight. When slow wears off, it's possible that something could go wrong. I do have only... Oh, it was Beast Lord Soul that landed. Interesting. I thought it was Turgors. So that's good to know that the Beast Lords are slowing, or maybe it's their epic. I think their epic procs is slow. It could be that. I don't remember. But that actually... If that's the case, it's good to have a weapon that procs is slow when you fight Aaryonar brute force style, because once you're out of mana, if she's not slowed, she's pretty hard because this fight goes on for a while. You can see that this I can't really click it, but fortunately it's not too hard at the moment. Even with 72 characters, though, it's rough just because no mana and the attack power penalties. And I don't have avatar weapons yet. I have not gone to Sleeper Sim. I haven't been playing as much lately, and I haven't really decided how I want to tackle Velious, because the early dragons in North Temple of Veeshan are fairly easy. The eastern side dragons, the ones that are kind of up on this side to Feshlak, Dagarn, Trizen, they're pretty easy. Then you go on the western side, and you got Miranilla, Koidokin, and Viam. They're much harder, for different reasons. And then the North dragons, the triplets are easy individually, but sometimes you get all 3 of them when you're not paying attention. I actually fought all 3 of them on my 54-man crew, and I was able to kill all 3 of them after I was really well geared. Not in the beginning. I took out all 3 of them at once, because 2 of them don't have any real hit points. They have Derek the Vindicator hit points. The other one has more hit points. So you kill the weaker ones first, and it's a little more manageable. And then you have Nevidaria and Jorlia. Nevidaria is a pain in the neck because of her spin stunt. I'm not sure I'm going to handle it because on my previous team, I had veteran AAs and I could just boost fire resist to 500. And I don't have that this time, and I don't know why. I'm trying to figure out my server settings. Had to give myself veteran AAs, and I don't know if it's a script I missed or what. So for the time being, I don't have veteran AAs. If you know how to get veteran AAs on the emulator, let me know. But I'd love to have that. That's why my macros beep like that. They beep, not the death beep, but the reset. When I reset the macro and they beep 5 or 6 times, is because they're warning me that they don't have veteran AAs. Uh-oh, people are dying. What's going on here? What's going on here? Hey, she's at 10%. Can't have people die. As long as Dave doesn't die, though, I think we're okay. You see, even at that, oh, she's still killing people. What's interesting? Yikes! That's okay. That's okay. That's okay. All right, enrage is off. Yeah, well, I lost a handful of people there, and I think keeping her slowed is the key to making this fight more doable. She is nasty when she's not slow, just because lack of spells, lack of debuffs, spells wearing off. Having that melee weapon that procs is slow really helps. I think, does Will Sapper proc a slow or a snare? A slow. Okay, so Will... Oh, hold on. The wrong button. If you have Will Sapper, that might be another weapon that you could use to slow her down. I'm using that on Dave because I don't have a Blade of Carnage yet. I don't think I've killed the Avatar of War yet. I might have killed him once. Just don't remember. I don't think I have on this team. All right, Aaryonar is dead. Huh? That was mildly annoying, but not as bad as it was with 54 characters. I think having the extra DPS just meleeing her made it a lot easier. So I'm just gonna pause while I reset the macro. I paused and I reset the macro. I got everyone reset, and I summoned everyone back to me. Do / count, make sure everyone's here, and then I'm going to kill this debuff. So I'm gonna hit my nuke debuff button. So that should we can look at the spam too to make sure it's off everyone. It's still gonna be on the pets, but it won't be on anyone else. I can't do anything about the pets. Just real quick, that takes debuffs off every character. I'll leave that up for a moment. Or you can just pause the video and kind of write that down. And then this is my summon button. You can replace this thing right here with just the character who's using it. But what's good about this is interchangeable of every character. It's just important that everyone is a GM if you want one character to use this command, because it's going to have all the characters, they have the GM ability to pound go to. And then corpse, delete player corpses to clean up my character corpses. That's what Aarynar's got. So she's got the kind of a... I don't really like the White Stone Shield. I feel like it's the drop that I use the least of hers. And we can come here. Like, Emulator, the Dread Geezer is probably one of her best drops. It's a very, very good drop. I might actually give that to Dave, because it has resists, hit points, AC, stamina. Let's see. What is Dave using? Dave is using a silver... Oh, that's actually... I would say that's better, honestly. All right, I'll keep that. So let's see what Aarey's using. Aary is using an Amulet of the Storm, which... That is from Feshclack, I believe. And I like the extra AC and the higher magic resist. So I think I'm just going to keep it on Aary like that. That's fine. How about I just do all tanks? Let's see all of our tanks. So I got some blue diamond stuff. So it looks like Michelle could use it. So... And mind the fact that there's no stats, that's just a linking issue. She actually has the Blue Diamond one that has the stats on it, the resistances. So I'm going to give Michelle that. And we're going to just go to this. I always put the tanks up top. Yeah, see, it has resist. I always put the tanks up top of the first main second EverQuest. I have the tanks right here. Everyone else is in alphabetical order, as you might have noticed. It's much easier to find people when they're in alphabetical order. But I put the tanks up front. That's why if the tank dies, if Dave dies, I know exactly where my tanks are. Okay. Who can use this? There's no wisdom. So this is a tank shield. Paladin, Shadow Knight. I could also Knight. So everyone, it looks like I think everyone is using their epic. So I don't think I'm gonna loot this. I'm gonna give it to someone. I'm gonna give it to Jackie. I'm just not gonna use it until she gets a one-hander. And then lastly, wait a minute. Yeah. And then lastly, the Circle to Summer, another great item from Aary. And we're gonna give that to I'll say a priest. Wait, I just don't know who. They have a lot of priests that have nothing. Because again, when you have 72 characters, it takes you a lot to gear everyone up. And I could have stayed in Classic and Kunark and geared up, but there's just not a lot of good itemization. So I said to myself I'd come to Velious and spend some time here and really item up before moving to later expansions. Because, you know, if you have about a little over 20 inventory slots per character, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 armor slots, and then, you know, some slots down here. We'll just say the armor slots. 18 times 72. I mean, that is a lot of gear that you need if you want to fully gear your raid. And most people don't have time for that. So what you can do is you can chain kill raid mobs. Like I can spawn Aaryonar again and keep killing her, and same with all the other dragons here and all the other bosses. You could also use the loot multiplier. So in Inspire in here, you can actually go to server admin, and you can go to server rules, and you can type loot. I'll show this in one of my other videos. And this thing right here, global loot multiplier, if you change this to a higher number, everything will drop that much more loot. 2 for double, 3 for triple, etc. So you want to farm less and you just want to kill and get tons of loot, up this number. It's good for like when you're boxing an army. It's also good if you're 6 boxing and you just want to, like, you know, get some crafting materials. Maybe you're going to make yourself a full set of gear or whatever. You can put this to like 6 and you'll get like 6 times the spider silk or the pelts or, you know, whatever you're using to craft with, or you know, if you wanted to take on some, you know, named mobs, because you maybe can't kill raid mobs with 6 characters easily. You make the named mobs drop 6 items instead of 1 item, and that way you can gear up a little quicker. Anyway, that was my Aaryonar video and some little tidbits of advice. If you like what you saw, like I said, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what you want to see more of, what you want to see maybe see less of. And here's Aaryonar's ugly head, and I will see you soon.